Hey, what's going on, everybody? Joe Menza here, and I'm just doing a quick little lunchtime quickie painting here. And this is 10 by 14 Stonehenge, 100% cotton paper. Just wetting the paper down. Had an idea of doing sort of a storm over maybe a little rocky area where maybe you can go into the water, or there's maybe a little boat launch, no boat obviously, just something quick, just a little storm maybe scene, coming in with some initial just water, little bit of a dirty wash here. This will be a quick one. This one's before the 4th of July holiday. I'm sure everybody's got some sort of festive plans with small groups, obviously. Coming in with some Ultramarine Blue, and I'm just dabbing in a little cloud pattern here, and we're going to get progressively darker in layers. I hope everyone's paintings are coming out well, and I've been inspiring you these months. A little bit darker on the Ultramarine Blue now, just to create some layering. Yeah, that's always been the goal of my channel, is I was able to absorb a lot of material in a short period of time. So I thought I could pass on, things I've learned along the way. I've had some, of course, critical, non-critical feedback, which is great either way. I've added a little Paynes Grey, by the way, to the clouds here. I'm not by any means an expert. If you see me doing something that, I'm trying to inspire and encourage beginners. If you see something like I didn't tack my paper down exactly perfectly or something like that, take it for what it's worth. I'm just a guy on YouTube. You're not paying anything for these videos, obviously. You can, by all means, always donate to the cause, but my goal here is to inspire, encourage, and get other people painting. It's a great release for anxiety and stress, and that's what I found in my life, and that's why I pass this on, because it's such a wonderful hobby, wonderful endeavor. So I'm taking those same colors and I'm making a little bit of water here on the bottom. We've got a little bit of a horizon. But anybody can do what I'm doing, just with a little bit of practice, and there's probably a lot of people who can do 10 times better. And if I inspire the next great artist, that's fine. That's what teachers do. Teachers may not be the greatest of all time in their field, but they can certainly inspire, encourage. And that's what I hope to do. I want to pass along and, keep this great hobby, great hundreds and hundreds of years pastime, to others, and document my little journey along the way. And those of you who are joining me on that journey, we're having a great time, I hope. So I've taken a sandy sort of a color, burnt umber, what I had on the brush, a little bit of yellow mixed in, and I'm just creating a little bit of a rocky little area here. We'll bring out the card here. And you see we got some nice clouds coming up from up above. We're gonna have those rain fairly soon here. I've just given it a spray with water just to keep things wet and create a little bit of texture on the rocks. So I'm coming in with some darker burnt umber and a little bit of Paynes Grey, maybe a little blue. That brown, when you mix burnt umber and ultramarine blue, makes a very nice color. So keep it simple. I found, a lot of people, when they're asking me questions, a lot of it is beginner stuff. So I don't want to make it too complicated. I want to keep things, fairly simple. People ask me where I got my tray. You can see I'm scraping now the rocks with the plastic card. Those plastic trays that I got originally, I got those from Hobby Lobby. I don't know that they still carry them. You can look on their website, but they're just a basic plastic tray. And here I am, I'm scraping more rocks for the sides. And then I had another person ask me how I make Paynes Grey. Well, Paynes Grey you can buy. Almost every watercolor paint manufacturer makes it. But if you had to make it, it's black with blue in it, to my understanding. I understand people probably bought like a set of paints and they didn't get any sort of a dark, like a black. You always get a white, and then you get the basic primaries and a couple other colors, but you don't get any dark colors. I don't know what I would do without Paynes Grey. I really like that color. So you can see we have these little cliffs on the side, and we've got an entryway into somewhere. So this is the Frank Clark goat hair brush, and I like this brush because the bristles, they're different. They're bushier than they're bushier and finer than the bristles on the Ron Ranson brush. So it has its place for me. I do use it from time to time. My go-to brush is going to be the Ron Ranson brush. So I've just put some dark, shadowy colors into the rocks. And you can see this almost looks like it's rocks that go over into the water. So what I'm doing now is I've taken a wash with white. I've allowed this to dry. I've taken a wash with white. And it's a very, very thin, milky wash. And now I'm going to cover that up. It's going to dry back quite a bit, but this is going to re-wet and blend the sky. And you have to be very careful, very cautious with this, because if you wet it too much, it will, mess up your entire background. So now I'm coming in with some even darker cloud formations. Paynes Grey, Ultramarine Blue. You can see we've got a nice little layering of clouds. And I mean, you can do this. This could be almost part of my sky series. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do this as the sky series. So I'm taking my fan brush and I'm just brushing down those loose colors to create. Just give it a little spray with water. And I'm just brushing down and get some of those storm clouds, dropping some water down, dropping some rain. You can see how those 3-4 different shades of colors create a nice cloudy layering effect. I've given that another little spray. Again, caution for this. I wouldn't want to see anyone get tripped up. You could leave it after that first, you don't have to do the rain, but that's probably too wide. I want it more streaky. So we'll give it a little spray. Nothing we can't fix. When you look off in the distance and you can see that, you know it's raining kind of far away. It's almost kind of that effect. I made this up as I went along, so just kind of had an idea in my mind, just a little rocks and some, again, to keep it simple, keep it short. Sometimes when you do these videos, you want to do a great painting and you want to do something very epic, but at the same time, when you look at the people that are viewing and the people that ask questions, oftentimes they're looking for simplicity and they're looking for beginner and easy things so they're not discouraged. So that's why I've been dialing it back a little bit. And some of the more really advanced stuff I've been putting on Patreon, I figure those people are going to want a little more detail and depth for the those paintings are probably going to take longer. I've got some over there that take an hour, so the simpler stuff will be here, the more encouraging stuff, getting people, and you want to take that next level, you can do that. That's not to say I won't have anything a little more advanced here, but I definitely don't want to discourage anyone. This is simple, fun. So I added a little bit of raw sienna. You can see a little tint of that in the coming, the rain coming down. And just using the cloth to kind of spread things out a little bit. I'm just going to add a few more little rocks here. As long as it stays wet, you can scratch with the card. Try a few different cards. I have some cards that the good plastic ones, the firm ones, those are the best. But some cards, the edge of the plastic can be a little rough. And also, I also want to say, I've been wanting to say this for a while, is your paper will really, the grainier the paper versus something very smooth is going to yield a different look on your rocks. So if you're trying to get those, just remember, if you're using really smooth like Canson paper, that's going to be very, very smooth, and it's going to yield smoother rocks. And something with more tooth and more grain is going to, I think, look a little better. It lends itself better to scraping. So that's it for this simple painting. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's take a look at it in a mat. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. As always, leave a comment below. Subscribe. Thank you, everyone.